Can we try the next question? Reference to paragraph 4, and we have paragraph 4 here. What positive influence did the Adopt a Cop project have on street children in the city? This was launched in 1997 with the aim of establishing and building a relationship of trust, the relationship of trust between the police and the youth. Remember, we just read in the passage. This is where your question comes from. Yes. Okay, so it's just a trust, to develop a trust between the police and the youth. And then our captain there was inspired to take the project to the street children and shelters, okay, and getting them to adopt a cop. And so on and so on it goes. Now, what positive influence did these have on the street children? Let's look at what was intended. Trust between the police and the youth, and then taking these to street children and shelters. Now, what we know from the passage, Lincoln, as Lincoln has read it for us, you'll remember that captains ended up with, the children forming a team, a soccer team. Do you remember that? And then there were all of them, quite a number of them were moving off the street.
Yes.
So you see, we don't have the passage exactly, we could make any direct references. We don't want to go that far back yet. But now remember, the positive influence is, instead of them peddling drugs or remaining in the streets, they then got into teams. They then got into these or the other things. Some of them ended up joining the community. So it tells that these did have a positive influence. So to a certain extent, a measure of trust was eventually developed between the police and the youth. So these are some of the positive influences that you have. Of course, you will get this specific answer in this case as, from the passage, that the number of street children decreased. But now, what we're trying to show to you is how you develop, how you come to that. You need to go through the passage, and your analysis will definitely lead you to that the number of street kids were decreasing because, amongst others, they were into teams, they were into all the other activities in the community. That makes sense.